Hey, welcome back to the Real Estate Excellence Podcast. Today I have a special show. This is going to be a very informative show. We all been seeing all things about artificial intelligence, AI, ChatGPT, amongst the thousands of other things that are coming out today. And my good friend Matt Manyak of Double M Digital is starting a new company so he can offer this service. Noble Vision AI he's launching, and I'm going to dig in deep because Matt's really got a lot of knowledge here that I think those agents out there who are a little shy of the camera, can't really find time, don't know when to schedule it, that they can actually produce months and months of content within just a few hours of sitting down with Matt using an AI, an artificial what's the word, Matt, we want to use? What you call it
a model.
A model? Is that what, I'm thinking of another word. It will come to me soon. But this is going to be an informational video. Matt, welcome to the show again. You were on several months ago, but this time we're just going to dig deep into AI and how people can leverage it without really. I think when people hear it, and then you agree or disagree with me, when people hear AI, they're like, oh, I don't want to learn something else. But you can actually do this for them.
Yeah, so, well, first I want to say thank you so much for having me back on, Tracy.
Yeah.
Always a pleasure. Mm-hmm. And before we even dive into that, I think we need to address kind of the elephant in the room is AI and ChatGPT. Like, there's this misconception that they're one and the same. So ChatGPT is an AI tool, but it's not AI as a whole. There's so much more to it than just what we've seen in AI, like or in ChatGPT. Like, you go up into a conversation, everyone knows ChatGPT. Not many people know, or less people know Bard, which is Google's AI, and even less people know Claude, which is another text generative AI. Mm-hmm. So it's like,
I'm going to keep Mac not being too technical. Don't get worried about those last three terms. Go ahead.
But the point being is that there's a lot more to it than what is commonly believed to be AI. Like, I go into so many conversations and everyone's like AI, ChatGPT, and that's like the end of it.
Right.
Where there's so much more. It's like saying that, oh, do you use AI? Do you use the internet? Is Google all that there is on the internet? No, there's so much more.
Right.
And there's more coming out every day. But kind of going back to the question here, actually, can you pass it to me again really quick? I was going down a rabbit hole. I'm sorry.
Well, agree to disagree that people are getting analysis paralysis. They're hearing AI and ChatGPT, and it stops there. Maybe some of them have dabbled with it. But what I really want to get out of the show, because I'm big and I use this phrase all the time, KISS, keep it simple, stupid. How can the everyday agent put the AI to the road for them without taking up a lot of their time or them having to go and study and pay for apps and so forth that they need. Now some of them are good and can do it themselves if they want to dabble into it, but how your service with just a little time up front can make the long content creation for the whatever amount of years easy.
Yeah, so I mean, there's a plethora of uses for AI. I mean, from content creation, and that can be applied a bunch of different ways, right? Mm-hmm. That can be blog posts, that can be email copy, social media copy, scripts, things like that. And there's ways that we can train up, like say ChatGPT, Claude, these AI text models. We can train them up based on your individual business, your individual agency, and make sure that the content that it puts out speaks directly to your target audience demographic and target audience avatar. But then you pair that with kind of the thing that I think prompted this episode is the AI video avatar creation.
Yes.
And I think I made a post, I mean, it's probably back in September now, I think, where there was an AI avatar. It didn't look like an AI avatar. It didn't sound like an AI avatar. It looked and sounded like me. And then at the end of it, the avatar was like, yeah, nothing in this video is real. This is all AI. And then it like mic drop. Everyone was like, what? And so because like the only person that called it out from jump was my mom.
That's awesome.
There were a few people that raised an eyebrow.
Something didn't click with mom on that one. That's good. That's a really good sales point right there. So here's what we're getting to, agents. And mortgage people that might be listening, anyone listening, it doesn't matter what business you're in. We obviously, real estate excellence, we're talking more of the real estate industry, but you can use this for anything. And well, I'm going to ask you this to try to really keep it simple for everyone to kind of get their grasp and hands on it. Can we take this video that we're shooting right now and feed it a script, and it's going to give us an image that looks like you and I sitting here having a podcast, but totally virtual, or totally AI, not us, our clone.
I mean, technically, yeah. Technically, the technology is there to do that. Now, kind of the video that I'd created and what I've done for myself is I've trained up a text model based on my speaking patterns, my style of writing, and the style of my presenting. And then I trained up a separate voice clone model where I've got an audio file of my voice, and I can type in whatever script that I write or have my AI system write, and then that generates a voice that sounds like me. For those watching, this is actually me. I am right here physically in the studio, and then I trained up a separate video model AI on my image, my likeness, and my favorite black T-shirt. Right. And so when you pair all three of them together, you can create a video asset for social media, video sales letters, like sales funnels. You can do pretty much anything that's a talking head, talking to camera style video. That is AI generated, and I spent maybe an hour recording myself once, and now I have content forever.
Which you probably had a lot of. Obviously, I have a lot of video myself from the podcast and stuff. I mean, you could feed that in there, right? I mean, it doesn't take but seconds to upload these videos of yourself in different situations. I mean, is it that simple, or do you try to be a little more technical when that? From you being the operator, you making it happen, the agent comes, sits in front of you. Are you trying to do a special type of video, or you really want it to be? Can they just upload them speaking? Like I said, the many podcasts. Can I upload a podcast of a guest who's been talking to me for an hour and 15 minutes? Can we upload that into the feed?
So technically, you can. Where I like to kind of draw the line of separation is where do you want to be? How do you want to be presented? And so when just kind of looking at the image here on this other camera that's facing you, it's like, do you want to be stuck at this angle forever? Basically,
right. We don't want good angles. Yes.
so
your angle is much better than my angle. So I get that.
But no, I get you. But the same concept is there, right? Is you're stuck in one angle, you're stuck in one room, you're stuck in one say pattern of speaking versus in one frame, right? So when I go in and kind of produce the content for my own avatar, was I integrated a green screen. I shot it from the waist up, so I've got some ways to cut in and zoom in, crop in. So now I can do one reel on Jack's Beach, and then the next reel, same AI avatar model, can be in Las Vegas. And I don't have to travel.
Are you adding a second and third camera just to give you angle shots, the side angles or anything like that yet? Is it taking that, or is it more straight on?
I've only used the straight on two camera style, like talking to camera, because the main purpose that I use it for is just Instagram Reels. Right. So where I can have my model say whatever I needed to say to capture, because again, I'm crazy busy, like all business owners are, and I've got meetings, I've got film shoots, I've got all this other stuff that I got going on, and sometimes it's easy to just plug in a script that I was going to say anyway, because I use a teleprompter typically when I'm doing my scripts or doing my reels, and so if I'm going to be doing that anyway, I just plop it into my voice clone, plop that into my avatar, and then chop.
After the initial video work is done, you feel you've got enough, and again, we talked about outfits and stuff like that, to get some time. After you feel you've got enough video as the operator, how long does it take Sally, real estate agent, recently the conforming loan limits went up. So maybe Sally wants to get out in front of her people on Instagram, Facebook Reels, whatever. And then we don't have to do Reels. We could do 5-minute videos if you wanted to, instructional videos, right? Obviously, creating the script might take some time, depending on, are you doing a reel or a 5-minute video? That's going to take some time. But as soon as they have that script and send it over to you, how long before they can have a finished product ready to send out to the social media world?
Yeah, so I mean, just to kind of quickly backtrack that, when it comes to the actual avatar creation, that process usually takes about a month, right? So we'll go in, we'll shoot for an hour, we'll be able to start the generative process for the model, or the training process for the AI model, and then the avatar usually is returned within a month. Then from there, it's
So the software company that you're utilizing as the tool, it takes them that long to process.
Yeah, the training time for the model takes about a month from the time that we shoot to the time that
I imagine that time's probably shortening every day, right? I mean, that the technology.
Yeah, it's still new technology, so I'd still allot that month just to be safe. But again, it's you take the month, you do it, you've got the asset that then can live for however long.
So a couple hours of the agent's time up front.
Yep.
Doing some video, you'll train them on what they need to talk, because you want to pick up their mannerisms, how they blink their eyes, the whole deal. Because, like you said, your mom was the only one that really noticed it wasn't really you. And then you're sending it out a month later. You now have this avatar that now you can just feed this avatar the scripts, and it's going to take over.
Basically, yeah. Like the concept here would be film one time up front, create the avatar, and then you can produce reels, video content, like at scale, right? And at that point, it's just however long it takes based on the runtime of the script of the voice and things like that to generate the video. So like I can now, for myself, I can create 30 reels in the span of probably 3 hours without having to turn on a camera.
You're feeding it 30 scripts, which, we can beg, borrow, and steal those. There's a lot of stuff out there. You can steal stuff that other people are doing, but if you think about it, the amount of like I said, the conforming loan limits just changed in the last couple of days. So you're seeing these static posts, right? I see my mortgage industry friends putting up these static, hey, 766. But no one is actually, and this is a pet peeve of mine, of people who post on social media, what does that mean? Okay, so it went from 726 to 766 or whatever it was, right? It's some change. Okay, well, what does that mean? Well, you actually have to put a video together, a reel, and say, hey, guess what? The conforming loan limits went to 766. That means you can purchase a home, with 5% down at, whatever the number is. I haven't done the calculation yet myself. 800,000 with 5% down, and you are getting conforming loan limits and rates and guidelines and so forth. It's not a jumbo loan.
Yep.
So if you're going out and listing a home right now, and you're in that high $700 range, you might want to put it there and say, hey, you can do this with 5% down, and that's what it really means. Because I think the point of this podcast is, how is an average agent who really doesn't have a videographer on staff or coming in regularly, because we see some agent teams, they do a lot of stuff, where that agent who may not be doing anything right now can come in and sit down with you, do that first video, so you get all their mannerisms as much as that content, and then 30 days later they just need to plug in the scripts, which, like you said, ChatGPT, you could write your own script and have ChatGPT correct it and all that type of thing. Go in there and clean it up. And in 15 minutes, you now have a good, clean script, send it over to you, and you have a video in a day or two.
Yeah, pretty much. And I mean, the additional thing to consider there too is, because we're capable of training these language models, these AI text-based models on your business, on your agency, on your brand. If you were to go in and just say, ask ChatGPT for a script, you're going to get a pretty basic script that probably statistically,
not always accurate.
I mean,
because it is not real time.
It's not always accurate. Because OpenAI, I saw that they just updated ChatGPT's knowledge base, so now it goes to, I think, to 2022. Don't quote me on that, but I believe it goes to 2022, whereas before it was 2021. But now that we're moving into 2024, you need something that's a little more up to speed, up to date.
Right.
Now, on the flip side too, is the average person that uses ChatGPT is going to put in a basic prompt that's going to give them a more basic script that may not speak directly to the target audience demographic that they're trying to reach. Right. Like, so you might be, say, an agent that specializes in military families, right? A basic ChatGPT script versus a one that's trained up on your brand, on your business, on military families, the consumer psychology that surrounds that is probably going to perform a little bit better for you than.
So that brings up an interest. You just trained up because if you've gone on, anyone's gone on and used ChatGPT, it's better when you start having a conversation with it, saying, "Hey, do you understand? I want this to be as if one veteran to another, military veteran to another military veteran." So it's using language that they would be accustomed to, using the acronyms that the military is accustomed to using and that sort of thing. Or, hey, I want this to be an informative thing. Actually, I had to write a letter, an email, I think it was, as if it was a Harvard lawyer. And you want to tell it those things. You want to be exciting. You want it, all these different descriptive things. You want to actually give it all that information up front, and then ask it to, it can create a script. But you can write the script as well, stick it in ChatGPT, and say, "Hey, I want you to reword this script with, enthusiasm, with all the different descriptive words that you want to put in there, with great congeniality, whatever you want to do," and it'll redo the script for you. So there's many different ways to attack it. You don't, obviously saying ChatGPT, create a script for me. Yeah, I had to do that, and I looked at it, and because it is 2021, and the script I was doing was about VA loans, and it wasn't up to date on the different things that have changed in the VA loan at the time, in the FHA. But that's something that you can obviously prep or help your client with. You create the avatar, but also they're going to create the script, so to speak, but also get their ChatGPT account up to speed. From the standpoint of how they want to present it, using these descriptive words, having a sales pitch or speaking, from this angle, whatever.
Yeah, so at Noble Vision AI, which my business partner Tony and I formed earlier this year, that's one thing that we specialize in, right? Is we have a proprietary framework that leverages these text-based AI to create highly targeted, highly focused copy. Again, that can be used for blog posts, scripts, social media captions, website copy, and it's copy that's dialed in to the specific customer avatars that you're trying to speak to.
To me, we're not talking a lot of time. You're consulting with them. They're, obviously, even when before starting the podcast, because we were talking about avatar. Avatars are big. Who are you looking? What audience are you looking to, go after? I think most agents right now, kind of know what niche they're in. Are they, they in St. Johns County looking for, this type of, client, or are they in, like I said, the military relocation thing and looking for that type of client? Those are their avatars, and they start narrowing it down. So you're having that coaching conversation with them, getting their.
So it's actually all done through just a questionnaire, right? So we provide a questionnaire to the client that wants our services.
You won't do it verbally?
Huh?
You won't do it verbally?
I mean, we can, but it's a lot easier.
They take some time, take a few days, and fill it out.
Yeah, because it's like it's one of those things that questionnaire that we use into the proprietary framework that we have is the basis for everything, right? So it's one thing to say, oh yeah, I target XYZ as my customer demographics, client avatars, all that stuff. But when you really get into the questionnaire, it forces you to think a little bit more. So we get even deeper into it, right? It's like you could say. It's like the difference between saying, yeah, I want a house, or I want a 3-bed, 2-bath property in St. Johns County, Florida, in zone whatever.
Right.
for
Has to have an amenity
400,000.
center. Schools have to be this far away. Get really.
Yeah,
Yeah.
granular with it, right? And so it's like, just using that example right there, which one do you think is going to speak easier? Which one is going to translate faster? Is I want a house, or this is what I want in a property?
Right.
And so it's kind of that same application here, right? Is with this questionnaire.
And so it's that way the AI, your avatar, your personal avatar that looks like you, that's speaking like you, that's giving that little 30-second reel of information out there is just that much better. The more you feed it, and you only have to do it really one time, right? It's not like every time you do this you have to tell it again. You create this information and it's there, and that's the avatar. It knows, unless you change who you're going after completely, you've got that set. So spending, again, it just goes back to, like you said, we were talking pre-show. It may be a little slower right now for you. Now's the time to work on this type of stuff, because who knows, spring comes down, rates drop, whatever happens and the market picks up, you're going to find an excuse not to do the social media again. And then what's going to happen is we're going to hit another slow time, whether it's 4 months from now, 4 years from now, and you're going to be like, oh, I wish I worked on my social media. Where right now is the time to get with you, get with your partner, get this avatar done, get some video work done so they can create that avatar, and then it's just feeding it scripts of what you want. Just feed the machine.
Yeah, well, I mean, what's it called, when the market is quiet, those who normally talk the softest sound the loudest.
Staying top of mind right now, because I think what's as any business, it's not just real estate and mortgage. It gets slow, so everyone finds something else to do. Oh, it's slow right now. I'm going to go do this. I'll tinker here, and you're no longer top of mind, because that's really what this whole thing is all about.
Yep.
We want to create social media to stay top of mind, let everyone know you're still active, still there, because 3 months from now, if they haven't heard from you, they may choose someone else because that other person is putting out the social media.
Exactly.
Yep.
Right. And like, I mean, there's, we look at it in different areas of the world right now, right? Especially with like just emerging technology in general, right? AI is just the tip of the iceberg, right? We have things with Web3 and blockchain technology that are coming down the road too, that, if you're not keeping an eye on that, that's where things are going.
Right. That, again, more confusing words to put people in.
Yeah, no, that's a rabbit hole for a different episode.
Yeah, for sure. So someone wants let's walk through the steps again, keeping it simple, stupid. Someone sees this episode. Geez, Matt, that sounds a little bit of interesting. They call you up. What is the process? From that very first consultation, are you sending them over to questionnaire, whatever it is that you kick off with, to getting that first reel or video out?
Yep. So person reaches out, says, "Hey, I'm interested in learning more. What can you guys do?" Mm-hmm. So we can do the avatars, and we can do everything else that a marketing company can do. We focus on optimizing the customer journey through the use of AI, and so. But speaking specifically in regards to the avatars that we've been talking about, is we'd set up a time, we'd go out, record, for an hour, get the script, the training material that we would need for the model.
And you don't have to be any place special, am I right? I mean, because you, like you said, you did it in front of a green screen.
Yeah, we have a portable green screen. We can take that to wherever, as long as we have a quiet, controlled space to set up in. Mm-hmm. We can train up multiple avatars, right? So, like, as an example, if I wanted one with me with a black T-shirt and a gray overshirt, I could train up a model on that. I can, but if I wanted to, say, have another model of me in a black polo shirt, I would need to train up a completely different model on that look. It's not like, you can, the technology is not there yet where you can press a button and just change your clothes.
Yeah.
Right. So, like, if you want, say, 4 different models, right? Maybe it's black T-shirt, gray polo shirt, white blazer, and I don't know.
Outfits 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, whatever. And so, right. So you train up the models on the different ones, because then after we have those 4 models deployed on all 4 of those outfits, it's not going to be the same outfit every single time. We can mix it up. We have a little bit of flexibility, so it can look like you're filming these on different days.
Right.
Right. So again, take the hour, maybe 2, depending on how many models that we're training. Assuming 1, you film for an hour. We go back, we start the training process on the back end on our side, train up the avatar, train up the voice, and then train up the say the scripting model based on the questionnaire. Then from there, after all those assets are ready within the month, we can create content at scale, whether that's reels, whether that's sales letters, whether that's 5-minute, 6-minute YouTube videos that are your avatar. We can then basically create those at scale.
We've talked about this before, but I think one of the and I've said this numerous times. I think one of the biggest areas that real estate agents are lacking on. They may be great on Instagram. So, hey, you're great. We may be talking to people who don't do any Instagram right now at all. And this obviously, boom, you've got your reels now. You can, whether you want to do 1 a day or, 1 a week, 1 a month, whatever it is, you can set your pattern of what you want to do. When you get this initial stuff down and it looks like you, and all the graphics can go flashing on, just like any great reel that you're looking at right now. But the area I think where a lot of agents are missing out on is YouTube. And because to me, and I've expressed it this way, YouTube is a library.
Yep.
Google, YouTube, you go on Google and say, I'm looking for, a real estate agent in, this area, or I'm looking for homes in St. Johns County or Nocatee, or maybe a specific subdivision. And if they've created a script talking about that subdivision, and obviously it's in it's going to pop up, and versus Google's not going to reach across to Instagram.
Yep.
Now it'll tell you if I'm looking for Sally Smith and Sally Smith has an Instagram account, it'll tell you somewhere down in there that's there. Hey, Sally Smith's Instagram account. Click here.
Yep.
But I'm sure there's a lot of Sally Smiths out there. So the reality is that YouTube, and to create a YouTube library of whether it's just 60-second or less reels, or you are doing 2 or 3 minute videos talking about a neighborhood. The reality is, some people like to sit up late at night and write. We've got some people, sit there, create your script in the middle of the night, boom, send it over to you. You can, because you got a green screen, we can drop pictures of the neighborhood behind you.
Yep.
And you got your avatar speaking there, looking great, nice tan, whatever it is that you want your avatar to look like. And you load those into YouTube over time. Go on. I challenge anyone right now that may be thinking about what I've just said, and go on YouTube right now and search anything, even a neighborhood. Be like you're someone who lives in New York right now, might want to move. I want to move to Nocatee. Look how old some of the videos are that pop up in the top thing. Some of them are 2 or 3 years old.
Yeah, no, the way that the algorithms work, right, for the way that the social medias and stuff like that work is, you look at Instagram, right? You post. Instagram is optimized and focuses more in on short term, right? So you post, give it a day. Probably less now, right? That video's gone somewhere deep in your followers' feeds. So the bulk of your viewership is going to come within the first 24 hours of you posting, right? You may go viral, but if you don't, again, the general timeline, right, is those first 24 hours are, where your posts get the bulk of your viewership on Instagram, on Facebook, because the feeds go, and the thing with those is it's not really searchable. There have been so many times where I've seen funny memes, or I've seen information that I'm like, oh, this is really great. I want to share this with someone later, and I forget to either or like then like a call comes in and
you don't share it right there,
yeah,
so it's in your.
I can't share it.
I
I forgot to save it. I didn't screenshot it.
Yeah.
And then I can't go back and search it later because I didn't remember what the profile was.
Right.
And then it's like, all right, that's gone. I can't find it anymore. So
Yeah.
I've gotten better at screenshotting. But when it comes to YouTube, right, there have been times where it's like, like I forgot what this channel was, but I'm like, okay, I knew the video had to do with XYZ, and then I searched for XYZ, maybe skim through a couple pages to find it.
Right.
But then I'm like, that's the video, and then I found it because it's searchable. YouTube is the second largest search library behind Google because Google owns it.
Right, right. And to create that, every reel that I do is on YouTube Shorts.
Yeah, you can duplicate post.
So anyone's been in the podcast, you see my reels on Instagram. I feed them over to Facebook, but every single one is in is in my YouTube Shorts. Those will consistently get just clicking numbers over. And every once in a while, you go down and pull that YouTube off and stick it on Instagram or Facebook or whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't necessarily always. I mean, I know there's some politics that cross, doing some of that, but and how the algorithms will allow it. But or maybe you did a video on something. Customer asked you a question, and you say, "Hey, let me send you my video," and you got it right there in your library. You take the link, you've text it or email it to your client. Say, "Hey, watch this video I did 2 years ago on whatever," type of thing. But so this can help you. So there's an agent who. You don't really have a great YouTube channel right now. You're not putting regular content on there. You really don't have a lot of information. There's top agents right now. I know many people. I don't use the word envy, but man, I wish I had their, go with it to, have really focused on some neighborhoods and are really just marketing those neighborhoods and have video after video after video of these neighborhoods and what's going on. I'll mention Josh Rogers. He's probably the most well-known in that area and creating regular videos about neighborhoods. You could do that as well. You may not be Josh, and Josh loves to be in front of the camera. Maybe you are bashful. Come and set some time with Matt, create that avatar, and then we could put the video, you could put pictures on the green screen behind your avatar, and boom, you've got marketing videos consistently going out.
Yep.
And in the YouTube library for people to search for years to come.
Absolutely, yeah, and again, from a scale standpoint, right? Again, just using hypotheticals here, I can go in and create 30 reels in 3 hours for myself using this. You just scale that up, right? You want to do a 5-minute video talking about, I don't know, was it beach walk, right? You want to do a 5-minute video talking about beach walk, but you're in Yulee. All right, cool. Let's
you don't want to travel down there, shoot the video,
plop the script in the in the voice in the avatar. We can knock that out. No need to shoot anything after that initial setup session, and you've got again, it's like, oh, I got this idea for a script. All right, cool. All right, bring that into the voice, into the avatar. Boom, have that, and then you got the script or the reels ready.
You just gave me an idea, and an agent listening to this right now. This is brilliant. You're in Yulee. Maybe you're new. Maybe it's slow right now. Now I know Nassau County's doing well, but maybe you haven't been in the business yet. Season enough, you don't have the referrals coming in. You could go get with Matt, get your avatar trained up, and in 30 days from now, first of the year, you've got an avatar where you could go around and pick the most popular searched neighborhoods in Northeast Florida, create the videos, and put those videos on YouTube, put those videos on across the social media. You will get hits because there are agents who are, some of them are just creating YouTube videos and referring the customers to someone else. There's somebody doing that right now. But obviously, Josh Rogers has a team. He gets his leads from YouTube, and he's feeding his team with those leads. But you could pick the most searchable neighborhoods in all of Northeast Florida.
Yep, and we have ways of monitoring keyword traffic. So if it changes, we can jump on that.
Let alone Florida, if you want to spend the time. And those are being searched by these people moving into Florida. They're calling you, saying, "Hey, you might be a popular neighborhood in Orlando for all we know." Someone calls in, you're like, well, I don't really live in Orlando, but I can refer that to somebody over there. Boom, you're getting paid.
Yep.
Yep. So you could be that digital avatar right here with just a little bit of work working with you and your team, and I mean there's endless possibilities with this.
Yeah, like another application, right, is listing videos, right? Having a voiceover that it sounds like you, talking about all the features of your new 8-bed, 7-bath, 20,000 square foot listing, right? Or having the avatar of you pop up on the side, talk about, hey, here we are with this, and da 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 da.
Because you and I have talked about this. I talk about this with a lot of agents. I tell them, get in the video. People want to see you. They really do want to see you. But maybe you're a little bashful. Maybe you're a little bashful with the camera and obviously like speaking freely and walking around and talking. Maybe that's not you. We have the perfect avatar with the perfect thing lined up with the video going on of you actually walking through the house, not showing yourself, but your avatar is over here in a nice dress, nice suit, looking sharp, boom, looking presentable, and talking about the house.
Yeah,
brilliant.
The big value add here, I think, is you can now have video content without having to shoot, right? And for a lot of, say, I mean, anyone in a ton of different industries, but like I've had a lot of conversations with real estate agents that are like, hey, I know I need this, but I don't like being in front of camera. This is an option. You get in front of camera once, and then we can basically produce content forever.
Yeah, I'm thinking, whether it's a video of you walking into the house,
you could technically be locked in at 30 years old forever through this.
Yeah. Because I assume you can tell it to like thin it down a little bit. Can you do some of that stuff after the video? Kind of make them.
So it's more in how we train it up, right? So if say that you're 30 years old now,
make sure the lighting's right. I know in this room I'm using right now, it's not good. We're gonna get better at that.
We do all the fancy lighting, make it look good. Again, make sure that the audio sounds good, all that stuff that we normally do for any video production. But the difference here is, again, it's we train up these models to look and sound like you, and again, create content to the moon.
Because I was just thinking, you just do the walkthrough of the house, right? Some people do video, or you can do the video and then put some stills in there. Say, hey, take a look at this room, and while your avatar is standing over here talking about that picture that's now taking up most of the screen, because that's what you want the customer focused on, is the house. Oh, what a lovely view, or look how big the kitchen is, or whatever it is.
Yep.
Yeah, that one there, that's a home run right there. Just doing those, because I don't think. We see a bunch, especially we see them on Fridays and Saturdays before the open houses. People are doing those types of things. Or I know I was just watching Jordan Ferrero. She was talking just the other day. I mentioned Jordan again, as I did the other day. But she's standing in front of one of her listings and talking about it and so forth. I mean, the fact that you could create that avatar of her standing there talking and flashing the pictures behind her of the different rooms as she talks about them. Oh, the great view. Because she was talking about the house, but because she was doing a live video and not walking around, she was talking about it, but you weren't seeing it. You know what I'm saying?
It's like a voiceover, right? We show the first shot. It could be, hey guys, welcome to my new listing, 123 ABC Street. And then cut to the, your traditional listing video with the voiceover of whoever the agent is talking about, or the features and selling it vocally. Cut back to it, or cut back to the avatar at the end saying, thanks so much for watching. If you're interested in checking this out for a live tour, give me a call, at the link below.
Right. You can really make some highly professional videos without doing all the studio time.
Yep.
Here. Now, I imagine this is something you guys are getting going here to look at what long-term projections are. But if someone was regularly shooting with you, as I know you have some agents that do, and creating that and creating some content, now being able to create that avatar to do it with the script. I mean, past that initial investment, because that's where all your time is creating that avatar up front. looking long term and not and just using B footage, using maybe pictures they just went out and took with their phone, and putting those on that green screen. So if they're doing an on-site thing, and then using the avatar instead of you having to go out there, video it. Did that sound good? Oh, we laughed. Oh, we got distracted. Who knows? It's raining that day. Whatever it is.
Yep.
All those things that can take time and people's money. Where do you see this from a savings standpoint for someone that's looking over the course of the year shooting videos with you live versus, hey, let's shoot a few hours up front and then we just got to piece together the pictures and your avatar and the script.
Yeah. So I mean, the goal is that this will be more cost effective in the long term, right? Mm-hmm. There's the initial upfront investment to get everything set up, and then we can produce content based on XYZ. What kind of volume that you're trying to do. Now, again, the pros, cons, it's great technology. I use it on a daily basis. But on the flip side, right, if you're doing content where you're out there interviewing people, talking to, say you're selling new construction, talking to the builders, it's not a replacement for that.
Right. Yeah, right. You're bringing somebody in that just for whatever moment of time. If you're doing an interview, that's a totally different thing.
Yeah, and if you're trying to showcase, it's one thing to say, all right, I'm going to put an avatar in, talking about like this local restaurant. Maybe you're doing a feature on Salt Life and why people should move to Jack's Beach, right? That would probably be something that I would recommend that you shoot on site, right? And you produce on location. Now, what this is more for, at least in my opinion, and the way that I see it being used and leveraged is for your everyday content, right? Like your market updates, right? Don't want to set up a camera, don't want to go do that. Cool. Send me over the details. We can create the script. We can clone the voice, bring it into the avatar, render out the video. Boom. Mm-hmm. Right? So market updates, we can automate that. Same thing that we just talked about with home tours. We can automate that. And things like that. So there's a place for it.
So let's go through this because these are things I think when the rubber meets the road, people really need to be simplified.
Yep.
We talked in detail about showing off houses different ways, whether it's a video behind you or still pictures.
Yep.
Your avatar talking about that. Informational videos. Just again, like I said, the conforming loan rate changed. Okay, let's put together a 30-second script. Take you probably less than 10 minutes to do that. Shoot it over to you. A day or two later, you're out there talking to your peeps and getting in front of them, talking about conforming loan. They may not even be looking to buy a home, but they're seeing your face again, and they're seeing that thing. So informational videos, which I think all of us really could get better at is having a library of truly informational videos on what we do and really breaking it down. The new NAR lawsuit, we were talking about this with Patty Ketchum a few weeks ago. What's the value of a real estate agent? Do you have videos right now talking about what's the value of a real estate agent? What are things that you do on a daily basis? I've seen a bunch of posts, I wouldn't say a bunch, but I've seen several posts from real estate agents breaking down, hey, this is what I do. There was one of them that was great the other day, and I forget who it was. Someone who might be listening to this, I reached out to him because I was like, come on, let's do a 30-minute just a Facebook video to what does a real estate agent do? What are they spending their time and energy and money on to get that listing, or representing the buyer? What are they doing for them that the buyer doesn't see every day? That's what that NAR lawsuit is forcing the agents to do, is to say, this is why I'm worth, 3%, 6% overall this is the value of it. What a great thing to have, half a dozen videos explaining, from different angles, or again, your avatar video you doing your work, right? Your avatar talking about, here's me going on a listing, or hey, here's this house I had to go pick the weeds out of, or we had to scrub down the countertops and so forth before the open house. These are things that agents do that we don't see, or clean the toilets or whatever, right?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And having those type of videos in your library right now is so vitally important, I think, because of the NAR lawsuit. So that's something, obviously, to pitch to your agents. Let's create some videos because we need to show why you're worth what you're asking them to pay you.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So informational, value add. I mean, I really do think it's endless of the subject matter. I think the important thing is, and I think you're going to agree with this, in every top agent that I've had on, most of them, because a lot of them I've searched out, they're top agents and they're on social media, is just simply top of mind videos every day or reels. The 30 seconds of, hey, this is what I'm preparing for today. The agents are on there with their stories all the time. This is what's going on, and creating that series. And then people have to realize too, I think we underestimate the repurposing.
Yes.
Yeah. These informational videos you're putting out now that are any day videos, 3 months from now, we put them back up.
Yeah. And if you have an avatar, we change the background.
There you go. Right?
Same script.
Or we change if you do the different outfits, you change the outfits.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. Yeah. Or both.
Right. And you're not having to reshoot. You're not having to recreate the script or anything that's already done. You're just going in technically saying, hey, put them in the white outfit and, put Beacon Lakes behind them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And changing it out. That's even more. That's even better.
Exactly. Right. So again, just like you said, opportunities are endless. The capabilities of this, and as time goes on, the technology is only going to get better. Right. So there may be a point down the road where I can just click a button and all right, cool, I'm going to be in a green shirt today or something.
We're going to have a discussion after this because my brain is spinning right now on, because I really just what we just talked about. I mean, that little thing of this is what just came to my mind. And this is worth gold. Please send me a referral for this. One, you can go out and create a community video about any community you want to. Because the important thing is making the contact. They may be looking at Nocatee, but after you talk to them, and I know agents that are listening to this right now, you may have talked to them about Nocatee, but realize price point's not right. They don't like the fees. It's too far from grandma who lives on the west side. I don't know, whatever it is. So Nocatee doesn't actually work out, but you end up finding them another home in another community. But because you were doing videos about Nocatee, they found you, right? So if you go through and you do all the pre-work, you give it, and your avatar is out there talking about a different neighborhood every week, all over the place, the top neighborhood, you're gonna get those leads. They're going to this is a long thought process, but you're now creating this whole world out there you could be doing at midnight, really, virtually, that is out there, and you're becoming a social media head. So each week you could be putting up the Beacon Lakes. You could be putting up, I know there's a new one up in Nassau County. Talking about Nassau County is a big neighborhood there. You could be talking about the west side. You could be talking about these things, and it's just you creating the script and Matt simply plugging and playing in this situation. And your social media could really grow very quickly, and then you keep adding on it. And I think the search ability of that. Your phone's going to be ringing of people because you're creating these videos and you never really left your house.
Yeah, and same kind of thing, right? It's like speed to information, right? Mm-hmm. Fed drops interest rates, right? Everyone's going to be jumping on that, but being able to have a professional video, right, within 24 hours.
Yeah,
but maybe Fed drops interest rates and you're on vacation and you can't shoot, or maybe there's a situation where it's like, it's rainy, we can't do this, or there's no studio available, right? You say, hey, Fed just dropped interest rates, write me a script. And then, all right, cool, we got a video.
You can, I don't know if is it TubeBuddy does it for me or not, because you can go on YouTube and pick a video and ask it to give you the script for it. Is that something that TubeBuddy is doing for me, or is YouTube?
I'm not sure if TubeBuddy specifically
does that. If you're a member of YouTube or whatever, you can get it to script.
Yeah, we can get the transcripts very easily.
So you see a great video done by someone else, you're like, wow, that was really done well. I need to do a video like that. What stops you from taking their script, sticking in the Chat GPT, and saying, make this sound like me after you fed it all the it knows you. It make this in a present it in a different way. Whatever, shorten it down or whatever. But just taking someone else's great content, regurgitating it, and then sending it over to you to stick in a video with your avatar. You didn't even have to do it. You barely did anything.
I mean, we would probably prompt it differently than just taking someone else's script and say rewrite this. But
so I'm thinking someone like talking about Beacon Lakes, right? We keep talking about Beacon Lakes. Someone's talking about a neighborhood and they're giving statistics and all this stuff, which is common public knowledge, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Or again, someone does a great video. Hey, the conforming loan limits went up, and now with 5% down, you could buy a house here, and still being the conforming rate, get the good rates and good guidelines and all that kind of stuff. It's a great video to take what the information they said, and then the AI will reword it into your avatar.
Yep.
And then spitting it out, and you didn't even have to really think about this. I mean, the knowledge because you recognized it initially, but to actually sit there and type it out yourself type of thing, you could actually take someone else's, which is the same thing what ChatGPT's doing. You say, ChatGPT, give me a 30-second script on the conforming loan rates, changing to 766. It's taking information from all these things out there and giving you that 30-second script, which is basically what you're doing when you steal it from someone else. I just don't steal locally. No, but it shouldn't sound like them. And then it's you giving the words, and it's a different background. It's a totally different video.
Yeah, and again, because we're training it up on your brand, on your agency, or you as an agent, right?
Yeah.
We're training it up on those details that are part of that proprietary framework that we have,
right? And
then we can then leverage that in any and all assets, right? So again, whether it's
your mannerisms, your phrases, all those different things that everyone is a little different. I mean, maybe well, I guess after it records you, if you have a Southern accent, or you have a Boston accent, you can park the car in Harvard Yard, you can put that in there.
I mean, technically, yeah.
It's a different video.
Yep.
It's a different video. So there's so endless. So I think someone who's not doing social media right now, or someone who may be like getting exhausted of it, sees it as a burden in their life. I mean, this is something with a little bit of work up front can take care of your social media for a good part of it. Not necessarily everything, but a good part of it.
Yeah, I mean, for me personally, with the avatar that I trained up for myself, I never have to record another social media reel again if I don't want to. Yeah.
I mean, your language is not going to change. Your mannerisms are not going to change. I mean, you might start to look older like me and get grayer hair, and your hairline go back. You got a good hairline up front.
Yeah, but
I used to have a hairline up front like that.
well, my avatar locks me in at 25 forever.
Yeah. Well, we know some agents. I say agents. We know some professional photos, and we see some stuff on Instagram. Some people's professional photos, like, and then you meet them and like, oh, hold on a second, how old was that person? But Matt, great chatting with you today. Hopefully our agents got something out of this. This is something I think, anyone who wants a social media campaign in 24, now's the time to give you a call. Get on your schedule, get this thing done, and you could be kicked off by mid-January, rolling. You got your avatar and everything. Now you're just plugging in the scripts. You could spend a nice Christmas break, creating a bunch of scripts and be ready to feed that thing when you get the avatar comes out the other side.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
100%. What is the best way to contact you?
So you can find me on Instagram at director_M. You can find me on Google, search my name, Matthew Manyak, www.matthewmanyak.com, or give me a call, 508-344-9417. Just don't call me at midnight because I will not answer.
I like the email, official Matt Manyak.
Official Matthew Manyak.
Yeah, official. Was there someone trying to copy you?
Well, I mean, probably out there somewhere.
In the social media world, let me ask you, the little blue star on Instagram, is it worth it?
The blue check mark?
Blue check mark, yeah.
Me personally, my personal opinion is that it used to be worth something. Now you can buy it for $10 a month, and anyone that tries to charge you more than that is scamming you.
Oh, it's not Instagram itself that puts it on there, or how does that work?
So before, you needed to go through a questionnaire, you needed to go through a verification process, and then they only gave it to like celebrities and stuff like that. Now, Johnny C can go and buy it for, or so I think it's like $9.99 a month, right? That you pay for it, and it's I mean, it still serves the purpose of, hey, this isn't a bot account, but what's the, I mean, it's, to me, it's lost a lot of its value in trivializing it with a financial thing like that.
Well, I like the fact that it knows, I guess it takes you off the bot thing, right? I get a lot of stuff.
I mean, what?
So I go on, like, people want to be friends, and I look on it, and they got one post on Facebook. I'm like, dude,
Right.
did you just start your Facebook page today?
I mean, also too, right? Is it's like, I mean, to that same point though, right? And not to go down a rabbit hole, but if it's $9.99 a month, what stops someone from creating a bot account, paying $9.99 a month for that bot account, and then getting a blue check mark on the bot account?
Have people stirred away from, because there was where I'm trying to remember, there was one celebrity or popular person that obviously paid to get a lot of followers, right? And which were bot accounts. I know there's some people literally like killed their account and started a whole new account all over again because they got fed with bots. As the social media gotten a little better at that, as far as like recognizing who's true followers, and because obviously you get to certain levels, like in Instagram, you have 10,000 followers, you can do certain things. And
so with that, it's based on engagement these days, from what I've seen, right? Is because, but I mean, you can buy followers, you can buy likes, you can buy comments, right? There's so many things out there that you can just, all right, here's $100, I'm okay. I've got 100,000 followers now, right? There's a lot of that's out there, but what I would caution people about is, in doing that, because the algos work based on engagement, is if you're buying followers and buying likes and things like that, and comments or whatever, in order to remain in kind of a good, I mean, it's not even good standing, but to remain favorable in the algo, you'd have to continuously buy comments, likes, month to month to month, based on your actual follower count, because
it's figuring it out.
Yeah, because it's just like, how long can you play the game, right? How long can you keep the facade up in that case? So I mean, I don't buy followers, I don't buy likes. Sometimes I get 30 likes on my stuff. Sometimes I get 90. Sometimes I get more. And
sometimes you get none.
Yeah, sometimes I get none. Most of the time I get none.
Yeah.
But I mean, also I haven't posted in a while. But I mean, the point being is, right, is it's like,
you got to outrun Instagram, because you got to continually keep doing it, because over a brief period, 30, 45, 60 days, they're figuring out that those are dead.
Yeah, because, and also too, right, is it's like, why would you want fake followers? It's not doing you anything good, right? It's like, it's literally just inflating numbers for optics sake, right? But it's like, if you have 100 followers, but 99% of those followers buy something from you, awesome. If you have 100,000 followers, but 0.001% buy something from you, you got a flaw in the system somewhere. Right,
100%. Appreciate you coming on today.
Yes, sir. Thanks so much for having me on. It was great to come back, and again, thanks so much.
And we talked about it earlier. We want to keep you on my short list for even the short term stuff that we may not put on the audio podcast, but just getting out here on Facebook and whatever the latest things are going on, tips and tricks, that kind of thing, and keep adding value to our referral partners.